Hi, and welcome to my site. The reason I created this site, and it's called The Game is Rigged, is because actually the game is rigged. My name is Gilbert Bello. I am a concerned citizen. I'm an average person, and I'm concerned about all the people that have lost their jobs. I'm concerned about all the people that have lost their homes. I'm concerned about the people that are losing their homes because they lost their job through no fault of their own. And therefore, I created this site to try to share some information that I found via the internet and via my own search. How is the game rigged? I'm going to go through 4 or 5 points, which the rest of this website I have a video on. The first point that I want to share is interest rates. Most of us have money in the bank. If we have $1,000 in the bank is paying us minimal or no interest whatsoever. And if they do pay us interest, they pay us simple interest. But yet, if we take out a credit card with $1,000, we pay compound daily interest on that loan. So there's more money going out than there's coming in. Then we look at home mortgages. Most of us don't realize that we're paying 2.5 times what the property is worth. Why? Because of the power of compound interest. And when you're making the deal, usually you ask the person, or the real estate agent, or the mortgage agent, how much is my payment going to be? And the person goes, $2,200. What's the interest rate? 5.5 or 4.25, whatever it may be. And then it says, well, if I multiply 2,200, whatever the mortgage is, over 360 months or 30 years, we realize that for that $300,000 mortgage, we're going to end up paying about $900,000 because of the power of compound interest. Now here's the thing. Usually when you do the multiplication, either the real estate agent or the mortgage agent goes, don't worry, the interest is tax deductible, meaning that the government gives you 30 cents credit for every dollar that you pay in interest. That doesn't make any sense. How are you going to get ahead paying $30 and the government takes $1 and gives you back 30 cents? That doesn't make any sense. So that's the second way the game is rigged. Another point about loans is that most people don't realize that banks create those loans out of thin air. That money doesn't really exist anywhere. In the old days, it used to be handwritten into a book that's what you owed. Nowadays with computer, all it is a digital entry, but the money really doesn't exist. So that's another way that the game is rigged. And then I asked myself, well, all these people that are losing their homes throughout the nation, all these people can't be making the same mistake. Didn't they go to school? Didn't they get any kind of financial education? And you go and ask people if they got any financial education, whether it's in high school or middle school, and you realize that 99% of people never got any financial education. And you wonder, or I asked myself, why? So I went back and looked at the mission of the Board of Education, which was created in 1903. And in the mission statement, it states, we shall not make him learned men, we shall not make him doctors, engineers, or anything like that. And you realize, wow, in the mission of the Board of Education, it says that we shall not make him learned men, doctors, engineers, or lawyers. Why is that? Well, you realize that 1903 was the beginning of the industrial boom. Factories were just coming into play. John D. Rockefeller at that time donated $100 million to the Board of Education. And there's a saying, he who has the goal makes the rules. So the mission of the Board of Education was not actually to educate people, it was actually to teach them enough writing, reading, and arithmetic to come out so they can work in the factories of the boom of the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. The big boom, the big industrial boom. And then you realize, wait a minute, so you got credit cards, you got loans, they didn't get financial education. Wow, the game is rigged from the get-go. What's another way the game is rigged? Well, a lot of people now are relying on their 401ks for their pension because a lot of companies are doing away with pensions. And you realize that most people are losing 50% of their potential return via fees. Processing fee, declaration fee, paper fee, processing fee, a registration fee, a discount fee. They're losing 50%. Not only that, but a lot of these people on Wall Street are making a bundle. Why? Because they don't work by the hour. They work by percentage. 2% of the volume of the money that flows through their company, or 20% of the profits that they create. Imagine if me and you were getting paid by the percentage of whatever it is that we do created. Imagine how much we'd be getting paid. So that's another way that the game is rigged. But the most important thing that I want to share with you is that, we just heard about Madoff and how he scammed a lot of people through a pyramid system. Well, in my opinion, the government has been running the most legalized structure illegal pyramid there is. Why do I say that? We have the baby boomer generation, 80 million people that were born between 1946 and 1964, 80 million strong. All these people contributed in their system to the system via the taxes that were taken out of their weekly checks for all these years. The baby boomer generation has been retiring for last year at the rate of 10,000 a day, and they're going to be retiring until the year 2024. And you've heard the Medicaid is in the red, and health insurance is going up. People are living longer, and a lot of states are very close to bankruptcy. Who's going to pay for all these people's pensions? And all of a sudden you realize that, wait a minute, all these people, 80 million people put into the system, but now there's not going to be enough money or people working to pay these people. Isn't that a pyramid taking from Paul to pay Peter? Isn't that the same thing that Madoff was doing? It's just that he ran out of people. Isn't the government running out of people to work and contribute to the system so they can pay the 80 million that already paid? What I'm saying here is that when you add all these things up, you realize that the game is rigged, and is rigged on purpose. But there is a way out. What is the way out? Most people have computers nowadays. More people have access to computers. A lot of people already purchase via a computer. What most people don't know is how to sell via the internet. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of people have a Facebook page. Facebook just reached over 500 million users. Facebook itself is going to generate $1.5 billion in 2010. My question to you is this: how many of those people that are using Facebook, how many of those people are generating $10, $20 a day using Facebook? I guarantee you most of them aren't. My point is that you already have the tool, you are already using it, you just don't know how to use it to sell and generate an income. So this website is about all the evidence of how the system is rigged. Politicians have overpromised on the benefits that you and I can collect, and they keep promising every time they're up for re-election that we're going to get even more benefits without knowing how they're going to pay for it. My point is this whole page here, the page that you're looking at, I have different videos that reflect what I'm talking about. The second page is also more videos about how the system is rigged and how bailout is actually a strategy that banks have used before to bet with your money and my money. If they bet and win, they get to keep the profits. If they bet with your money and my money and they lose, guess what? We end up paying for it anyway. The third page is about Oprah Winfrey, Donald Trump, and Robert Kiyosaki, and how they're using a formula to generate income. Not only to just generate one income, but to generate multiple streams of income. The fourth page is also about Sir Richard Branson, who also has over like 2,000 companies that he deals with, and how you can start to use that same formula to start generating an income for yourself. My goal is to help you and teach you how to make at least $35 to $50 a day. Why did I pick that number? Because $35 a day times 30 days is about $1,000. That's 2 car payments. That's can possibly a mortgage. Can possibly do away with a part-time if you have a part-time and a full-time job, so you can spend more time with your kids. But anyway, that's my goal. If you want to take it further than that, once you know, then you're free to do so. I believe that that if I can get you to do that, and you know that you can do that, you can take it to the next level. Once again, my name is Gilbert Bello. This has been a message that I hope that you see that I just care about what's happening with the economy. And the best way that I can awaken people is show them through third-party videos that I have found on the internet throughout my search, that I am not the only one seeing this. And when you put them together, you realize that there's a pattern in place. Anyway, I hope that you get a lot out of this information. Please take a look at the videos. I appreciate any comments. And if you feel that you want to participate in some of my programs, I hope to hear from you soon. Once again, my name is Gilbert Bello, and have a great day.